New rods from Daiwa and Megabass are here. A couple of new drops from Grow Design. But let's be honest, it's all about Bonheur weekend, baby. That's right, the final return of Bonheur is here. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, a Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being joined this beautiful Sunday morning once again by my friend Jeffrey the King. Jeff, I just teased you with a couple of things in your wheelhouse.
My wheelhouse.
Yep.
And they're already gone.
2 new Daiwa scoping rods.
I'm sorry.
You know what? It's too early to mess with you. I need a beer. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. We're going to talk about some new product drops. We're going to mess with Jeff, get some really important restocks to talk to you guys about. And then at the end of the episode, we'll just do maybe a little tariff update. Okay? I feel like we talked so much about it last weekend that each week I'll kind of help you navigate what I'm seeing in the industry so you guys know what to expect and what's happening and all that kind of good stuff. But first, the first beer of Sunday, the first sip, the delicious Orion. Jeff, would you like one?
No, sir.
There's my second favorite thing of Sunday, my first rejection of Sunday. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. Hope everything's going good. Okay, so back to you, Jeff.
Yeah, back to me.
Yeah.
Scoping rods. Daiwa has released 2 new scoping
We'll get to that at the end.
Oh.
So that way you can anticipate it the whole time.
Right.
I mean, you did a jig video.
So next iteration must be
Jighead Minnow.
Jighead Minnow and scope.
Jeffrey the Minnow Shaking King.
Wouldn't that be
I can see it now.
Yeah, it did.
That
yeah.
sounds terrible. Please, God, let Jeff never throw a minnow.
Oh, God.
We need at least one channel to stay strong and fight the good fight, Jeff, and that's you. Okay, let's get right to it, right? It is Bonheur weekend. It is back. The final run of the Deps Slide Swimmer in Bonheur. In case you have no idea what we're talking about, check this out. When I think of the greatest swim bait ever, I think squash. When I think of the greatest swim bait fisherman ever, I think Butch Brown. Looking amazing, dude.
He wasn't getting away. He's hooked on both sides of his face.
Let's go. That was sick. That was so badass. All right, so this is the first bait that we ever did in Bonheur. This was a color that I had wanted for a long time, and we got together with Deps and Butch Brown and we just fine-tuned it to be this super sick all-around color that's really turned into a staple here at the shop. We now make Bonheur in quite a few things. Bonheur itself is going to stay, but getting it done in a slide swimmer, this is it. Okay, so we did the original drop 3 years ago now. It's crazy that it's been that long. And yeah, we did some cool Bonheur Christmas skits, lots of fun Bonheur things. But Bonheur is basically a full bone color that we've integrated some kind of gray scale pattern, a little bit of red hit under the gill just to kind of, give it some body, the sunken black eye. But what really sets it apart is instead of it just being a straight bone, we have a real subtle kind of purple pearl that fades on the back and a little subtle green pearl that fades on the bottom. So as this bait is gliding or shifting, the fish are getting just these little hits of pearl. It's an incredible color, and getting them done in the Slide Swimmer is something that this is about 2 years in the making. So after we ran the original batch, we immediately have started begging them because they sold out right away. And the reason this is the final run is Deps only has the capacity to make so many Slide Swimmers a year, right? So for them to do a special batch like this for us, it basically takes the entire factory's allotment, and they have to do less baits. And you know, they have so many new baits. They have a new Slide Swimmer size that's coming down the pipe. They have new stuff coming. So this is gonna get retired after this. So if you wanna make sure you have any of these, I would go ahead and pick them up. I've had one left that I haven't thrown in 2 years because I'm afraid to throw it, which is so ridiculous. So now we can be stocked. So 4 sizes. Jeff, this is in your wheelhouse. What makes a Slide Swimmer special for any of the people that don't throw Slide Swimmers and maybe haven't thrown Slide Swimmer? Why a Slide Swimmer?
Realistically, I mean, in my opinion, it's the best glide bait ever made. It came out 20 years ago, and wow, getting old now. 13 years ago, 14 years ago, Butch Brown got his hands on them. Started catching a lot of giant fish in Southern California, and then he started posting the videos and the catches that he was getting with it, and it took off. And the 250 has such a unique swim to it. It's got the outer shell, which makes it soft, which it could do a lot of different things. It could silence the bait when it's clacking, when it's going side to side. You also have it when the fish bite it. It's not super hard, so they feel some type of softness to it, so they might come back and hit it again, second time or third time or fourth time. And the swim on it, you can just straight retrieve it, you can chop it really hard. It's just a fantastic lure. The size of it, this is honestly the best size.
Yeah, I agree. The 250 size is the one.
I don't want to tell people to not get the other sizes, but if you're serious about trying to actually catch some, not even giant bass, but big fish in your areas, going with the 250 size is honestly the size to go with. I mean, you've caught 3-pounders on it. I've caught 3-pounders on it. Like, it doesn't take these 12, 15...
We're going to break down each size for you guys, so if this is intimidating, I think the biggest intimidating thing with a bait of this size, it's 6 ounces, right? It's not necessarily a lot of fun to throw, right? So I know a lot of you guys don't love to throw a big bait, or maybe the size is intimidating, or maybe you don't have the rods for it. We're going to also break down the other sizes as well. But back to what Jeff was talking about, this really is a special size, right? The other thing about this kind of outer shell, I just call it like the outer condom, right, is it gives a little bit of a two-tone on the coloration. It also is nice because it almost never warps. So if you guys are using other baits like Clash, we all love DRT stuff here. If you don't store those tails right, and you get on the lake and the tail is like kind of warped, you're screwed. It doesn't work, right? So then you gotta either re-warp it or boil it or buy a new tail. The nice thing about this is that there's nothing really on the bait to warp. So if you store it right, you never have to worry about it. You show up to the lake, you pull it out. Now, out of the box, Jeff, it's a slow sink. I would call it more of a sink. Instead of a slow sink. You?
It's a little fast.
Yeah, so for me, it's designed to kind of, sink down to where you guys can work it down into, I'd say out of the box, realistically, you could probably work it 8-10 feet down. But I like to lighten it myself, and this is something that I've learned from Jeff over the years. And you can do that simply by just downsizing the hooks, right? And you can change it from kind of a straight sink to like almost what I would consider a slow sink. Right? So you could go down in hooks. You still running the small hooks on yours?
It makes a huge difference.
It does.
Like, surprisingly, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to just downsize the hooks. It might look silly to you to have a size 4 treble hook on there, but I actually think they get pinned better. With the little hook. So yeah, it's just a special bait. Now this is the newer version, so it is going to have that kind of rattle thing in the head. It's basically a spring-loaded tungsten ball inside the head. That if you do want to get aggressive with the movements, you can you know, kind of get some clack out of it. Most of the time with a slide swimmer, it's going to be more of a smoother movement, which is why we all love the slide swimmer. But even if it's a smoother movement, you're not hearing that clack. It's still kind of vibrating inside. The idea of that is to kind of give off a pulse to where the fish may feel like it's, you know, alive, possibly. Aren't you surprised in the world of knockoffs that this outer shell concept hasn't been knocked off? It just goes to show you that it must not be easy.
No.
Right? Because anything easy has 500 replicas,
exactly.
right? And you think of all the glide baits and big
All of them,
baits,
bro.
they've pretty much all been knocked off, right?
They don't have that.
But there's nothing
Nope.
still with this. So it is a very special bait, and you know, I'm excited to get in your hands. So here we go, let's break it down. So the 250, right? I would recommend throwing it on like 16 to 20 pound fluoro. The lighter the line you go, the easier it is to manipulate. The heavier you go, the harder it is to manipulate, but the more panicked you may be in here until you get used to throwing it on 16 pound. But I would highly recommend just going straight fluoro in the lightest you can get away with. This is also a bait, you know, Jeff's a master at getting this thing to move and to glide and manipulate it, and it's so fun to watch you fish it. But on the opposite spectrum, we mentioned Butch Brown. He's like the opposite guy. He just heaves the thing out there and just winds the thing in.
And they eat it.
And they eat it.
Because it's Butch Brown.
maybe that's why, right? So it can get bit just on a straight swim as well. So there's the 250 size. Going down in size is the 175. Okay, so this is going to bring you into like a 2.5 ounce size, so a much easier size to throw. And a lot of you guys may have like shad glide style rods, so something like a Mark 56 or something like that is very easy to use this size. It also has a really good glide. The older version didn't glide much, it kind of sucked, but the newer version, they've tweaked it and really perfected it, so now it has a good glide movement, so you guys can use that one. Originally, the plan was to just do the 2 big ones, but so many of you guys fish, you know, smaller water ponds, and we sell so many of the smaller slide swimmers that we did it in these 2 again as well. So the 145, and this is going to put you in basically 1.5 ounces, so super easy to throw. It will glide, but remember, the smaller you go, the tighter it is, right? So, you know, you're not going to get these big, huge movements like you get in the 250 and the 145. It's going to be more of almost just like a head movement, or just use it as a straight swim. And then the 115 as well. I've always loved the 115. I just think the 115 and 145 are just kind of sexy. So, you know, there's the 115. 22 grams, so basically 3/4 of an ounce on that guy. And again, you're going to get very little glide, but you can get just a little bit of kind of, you know, almost jerkbait style dead walk type action. So there you go. The 4 baits, these are available in each size or as a full set. So if you want one of each, there is a full set option there as well. Saves you a little bit of money. It's not a huge difference, but it just lets you grab one of each size. Or of course, you can go on there and grab whatever you would like. So Bonheur, the final return in the Deps Slide Swimmer, those are available right now. All right, while we're talking about slide swimmers in storage, we also got the last batch of Deps lure sleeves that they had available. These sizes will fit the 250. You could also put like 2 of the 175s or multiples of the smaller size. This is the large size. It's perfect for these. This is how I store mine, and then I just put them in a larger tub, but that way they're in there. Basically shows you how to use it. You just open it up, drop the bait in there, and then it holds it. So pretty simple, but those are also back in stock. While we're on Deps, just a couple of quick restock announcements. Bull shooters are back. These have been flying out of here, so both the regular and the floating. So the regular is going to be a slow sink, the floating is going to be a float. You can manipulate the float to be a suspend, or you can fish it on the surface. Basically the bluegill glide, the bluegill version of the slide swimmer, I would say. It's a little choppier, it's a little faster pace, but it's still one of the best bluegill profile glides to actually get to move side to side. So those all return from Deps this week as well. All right, a couple of more restocks to let you guys know about. The last of the bull flats are
Forever?
in. Not forever, but there's 0 bull flat production planned. Okay, which means definitely not going to see any this year.
No.
Maybe spring next year. Okay, so this is for all the sizes I could get. I got for you guys, which isn't many. Okay, but the 4/8 and the 5/8, which are the sizes that we love to throw. I think there's also some 3-inchers over there. This is both for the regular bull flat and the non-salt. Okay, so non-salt's can be a little cleaner plastic. It's a little bit lighter, slightly more durable than the salted version. Bull flat is kind of the staple bluegill profile bait, but these are made in the same factory as Sakamata shad. They've stopped all production of everything except Sakamata shad. Okay, so that's why there's nothing else coming. They're going to try to finally meet up with the demand. Now that everybody on the planet has knocked it off, now they're going to make the Sakamata shads. Yeah,
Awesome.
good job, good job. So if those speak to you, you want any, good chance to get those. And then finally from Deps, all the Buzzjets are back. Buzzjet regulars, Buzzjet juniors. So if you guys have been waiting on any colors or want to try just kind of an interesting topwater bait, the Buzzjet's kind of a fun bait. It's kind of half wake bait, half buzz bait. So basically just a propped kind of wake bait. You have to fish it very slow, but it basically just moves and churns as it goes, and it can be a real subtle finesse version of, or an alternative, I should say, to a buzz bait. Okay, so if you want something that moves slower and stays over the top of them longer when they're, you know, bedding or in little grass pockets or that kind of stuff, Buzzjet can be awesome. So those are in stock now from Deps. All right, Jeff. We said nothing about this because there's 0 point in hyping something that there's not enough to go around.
Bingo.
Okay, I know a lot of you guys are fans of Grow Designs, as are we. Love the brand, love the baits. You know, we were the ones that put the original Grow Design flag on the trophy pedestal at ICAST the year that Berkeley knocked it off. That was pretty fun. But they never have enough to go around. Okay, so we always usually just do these lighter unannounced drops. If you guys see this, go scoop them up quick because they are going to evaporate and be sold out. And I don't know when the next batch comes. It's usually kind of like every quarter, I feel like, that we get these. So 2 new colors in the Grow Design Work flag 255. We have the Bass and the Threadfin 2. Okay, I'll take those out so you can see them. So the 255, Jeff, do you ever mess with a soft glide? Do you ever throw
The only one I ever really liked was the
Osakana slide?
And Daddy's still waiting for the 250 size.
Yeah, I know. It's a project.
But
it's a project.
Overall, I think the idea and the concept of a soft glide bait is phenomenal if you're fishing certain pieces of coverage structure.
Yeah.
So like overhanging trees that you can skip under, you can skip this bait under there and get a glide bait action instead of having to skip just a normal soft bait that kind of just comes in at a straight tree.
Yep.
You can skip that and you can get it to walk, glide side to side, and you can do that with docks too. Like a lot of the guys that I think have really good success on the flag are utilizing that in those areas where the fish might only see a normal soft swim bait. But when you've got this, you have the ability to skip it in some of those 6 spots, glide it, and just get absolutely destroyed.
Yep.
So the 255 I think is the better of the swimming of the 2 sizes, the 170 and the 255. I think the 255, though you see it in his hands, it might look big, but it really
it's really not.
is not.
Yeah, this is not. This is
technically
not very big.
it's longer than the 250.
Right. But it's thin,
it just
it's small,
like
it doesn't present a big profile, especially since most of the time it's kind of moving in a kind of a bent profile.
And
it
when
diminishes.
it's bent like that, they eat it and they folds in and you hook them.
Yeah. So you know, it's a really easy bait to use if you guys are into soft baits. It's obviously 255 millimeters, 3.2 ounce.
So it's,
right?
It's just light.
It's light.
So light.
Slow sink. Now there are also some repair kits available as well. So the one thing that you will know or notice with soft glides is they tear. Right, so that's another downside, especially for an expensive bait. Everybody hates spending a lot of money. These are over $100, right? So it's a lot of money for one soft bait that can tear. So I would recommend grabbing a repair kit. so that you have just the extra components, you know, and there's also tuning things in here too. So you can do, there's nail weights and, you know, balls and stuff that you can tune it. But the 2 colors, this is the RE Bass, okay, or the Rebass. And then there is the Threadfin 2 color. Okay, so you've got basically a baby bass pattern and then a nice kind of threadfin pattern, kind of an all-around pattern there. So again, there's hardly any available, so if you see this and you want this, I would grab them very quickly. They are going to sell out and no idea on ETA. So we'll do the best we can to continue to work with Grow Designs to get more inventory so that this can become a more readily available thing. If you miss it on our drop, Grow Designs does do some drops on their own direct to consumer every once in a while as well. So make sure you follow them on Instagram, and you can stay up to speed on what they are making. Make sure you can get it. So there you go. There's the flag 255, and then there's also the G flag 150. This is more of like the bluegill profile that was originally intended. It's 150 millimeters, 1.5 ounce, but in this kind of Threadfin 2 color. It's a super dope, like just shad glide.
Yeah,
it looks great. Okay, and this one actually moves really well. It's a little taller profile.
Incredibly well.
Glides great. So, and again, there is a repair kit and accessory kit for that as well. So there you go. Grow Designs, if there's even any left. Like I said, there wasn't many to start with, but those are available while supplies last. All right, Jeff, quick restock notice to everybody. You destroyed the PD Chopper availability in the world. So congratulations, Jeff.
I apologize.
Yeah,
it won't happen again.
Zappu's #1 salesman.
Salesman of the month.
Hanta and Zappu, if you're listening,
thank you.
Yeah, give this guy a raise, or just give him something.
Yeah, give me a PD Chopper.
Give him some water. He loves that.
Water and 1 chopper, please.
The PD Chopper is a swim bait that, or swim bait.
Swim bait.
I don't know. It's Sunday. I need more beer.
Do you want me to do this segment, boss?
Yes.
You're gonna have to lower that, probably.
I am your cameraman, Ben. Oh, hold on. You're kind of like Griff. Hold on. Just hey, no, hey, get away.
Just
I got
twist
this.
that.
I'm a
It goes
professional.
down.
Oh my God! I can put this all
You
the way
gotta
down. You're still in frame.
relax.
Bunch of short fuckers here.
You gotta relax.
Okay, here. We'll make you feel like an almost full-grown adult. Okay.
Okay, Zappu PD Chopper. This is a swim jig that was designed by Hata Takuma. We got these in 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. I was interested in it because the head design on the PD Chopper allows this thing to have a wobble and roll. And the wobble and roll is a very popular technique in Japan. And so Hata wanted a swim jig that had the same exact thing. And so I thought that was cool. I like things that wobble and roll. I'm very JDM pilled, except for Mitch trolling. Now, I went out and fished a certain size of the PD Chopper, but they all do the same thing. Where I put originally I put a Spark Shad 5-inch on the back of it, and it gives this beautiful rock, and it's made to be fished pretty slow. And the Spark Shad on the back of it absolutely killed him. It crushed him. I caught a 34-pound bag, and then after that I caught 2 8-pounders on it. Like, it just absolutely killed the fish. And we have a restock in them. I don't know what sizes.
So all sizes, quarter, 3/8, and half. So after your video, everybody bought the half for some reason.
Which is fine. Yeah. But I was fishing 25 feet of water. If you're going to be fishing shallower water, anywhere from that maybe 10 to 15, I'd probably go with the 3/8. If you're going to be fishing shallower, I'd go with the 1/4 ounce. If you're going to be fishing fast and burning a lot of water or grass or anything like that, you can go with the 1/2 ounce. You just need to fish it a little bit faster. But the PD Chopper wasn't designed for that. Now, we've been talking about it being a swim jig only, but you can also just throw on a craw trailer in the back of this. And the way that the head is designed is when it sits in your hand, it's going to like rock. And when it rocks, it gives the crawdad trailer that you have on there just more lifelike, especially if there's some type of current happening in the water. So it's a really, really awesome jig, and I'm glad that I was able to catch a fish on it.
And just so everybody knows, this is the last that Zappu had. So
This is it.
We've got everything. There was no plan for them to remake it. Because when I asked them to make the original batch, they were like, well, this jig's been out for a decade, and you know, why do you want it?
want
I'm like, because everybody needs this. It's awesome. So they didn't have faith that
that's crazy.
it was actually going to
Here we
be
are now.
a thing. So if you want any, I would grab, because there's probably not going to be any more this year.
No,
So.
it's done. So I'm taking these two.
So before Jeff buys them all, hey,
Ooh.
there's trailers over there.
oh,
So you
you
also
even have
did a
the
great
trailer.
job of
That's
selling
crazy.
out America on the 5-inch Spark Shad. So there's some coming back,
5-inch
but
Spark Shad was the go-to.
this is going to be a problem bait with the new tariff thing. We'll talk about that later. So some other alternatives.
So we have ever so popular Dolive Shad. We have the Realis Versus Shad. This is also one that, well, I guess all of these, the main idea with the PD Chopper is you want something that can be fished slow. And so you have like the dead slower from Jackal. You also have the Raid Full Swing.
Yeah.
Full Swing. Yeah, I named that.
You want to say impacts, didn't you?
I was
Yeah.
I was so close.
I know, that's a hard one.
Now, why do we recommend these specific swim baits? Is, well, normally for most of these, they have a pretty thin tail section, and so you can really slow that swim jig down, and you're gonna get action. Some of the other baits, so I tried like the Magdraft Freestyle. The Magdraft Freestyle, it's a great one on its own, and you fish it at like a medium retrieve. But if you go too slow, it just doesn't. It has too much plastic in the back end of the tail, and so you could fish it kind of slow, but not as slow as I was fishing that swim jig. So going with some of these other ones that have that little bit thinner section down at the tail, will be able to get that swim jig to fish really, really slow, and you get that action. So that's it.
All right, great job, Jeff.
Yes, sir. I got a new video coming out with more giant fish on it, so.
Okay, relax, guy. Quite the conventional guy. Okay, Jeff, up
Yeah.
here. Adults are sitting in the chair now.
God, you're so
Okay.
tall.
I don't know why you just skipped right over these.
That's not
but
my. What is that for? Oh yeah.
there's also. Quiet down. There's some new sizes in the Zappu pile
What
driver.
am I supposed to use that for,
Okay,
boss?
1/0 and 2/0 sizes. Okay. Now,
Huh?
not as big of a bite as the BKK. Everybody knows that the Micro Citizen needs a 1/0 and a 2/0, right? Or a 1/0 or a 2/0. If you can get the BKKs, I would get them. There's a very, very small amount coming down the pipe next month, but they're going to be a major problem, right? BKK is a Chinese company. As long as tariffs are 125%, my guess is they're just not going to bring anything over for a while, okay? So this could potentially work. It's pretty tight. It's not as ideal as that BKK, but it's an option that could get you, you know, a usable option for that Micro Citizen, okay? So you're gonna want hooks if you don't have them already. There's next week's tease, okay? All right, Jeff, OSP, pretty big restock across the board on everything. A handful of new things and some things I just want to let you guys know that are hot sellers that are back. So Bent Minnows, specifically the 76 size. This is one of our most popular hard baits actually in the OSP lineup. The 76 size is going to get a full restock plus a couple of new colors. These are colors that are trickling in from other baits, but the 76 is a great one for more of the bait finesse guys. It's 76 millimeters. It's 4.5 grams, so it's really kind of a true finesse size. You can throw it on a spinning rod, you can throw it on bait finesse gear. The Bent Minnow, designed in a curve, designed as like a jerk bait topwater. It's a really fun bait to fish. We've done quite a few videos on it, but those are in, and some new colors in that. We also have a full restock on the Dai Buzzin. So if you want more of a full-size wake bait, Dai Buzzin is a great one. You're gonna get a tremendous action, get a nice kind of just little knocking sound on there. So all the colors are back on that. We get a full restock across the board on the key colors of Blitz Max DR. So this is my favorite crankbait in their lineup. This is a just a killer in that like 15-foot zone, right? So all the key colors like Ghost Minnow, you know, Jinrin, so on and so forth, are back in the Max. And then mesh pouches are also back. Okay, so this is a great bag to store whatever it is that you want to store. You know, if you want to get one for your wife for Christmas instead of a Louis Vuitton, she'd probably love it, like a little like handbag. She could just walk around. I like to put soft plastics in it. You don't agree, Jeff?
I think you should ask Kelly.
She says yes. So you can fill it up with soft plastics. What's nice about it is that because it's mesh, it flexes, so you have the ability to just cram all kinds of stuff in there, which is good for me. But it's also see-through, so you can tell what's in there without having to open it up. So those are back in stock from OSP. And real quick, sticks are back in a big way. So all sizes, all colors. This is probably the most popular soft plastic bait this time of the year. It goes back and forth between beaver, stick, dice, of course, is up there. But the stick's a great one because you can use it as a fluke, you can use it like a Senko alternative, you could use it as a jig trailer, as a chatterbait trailer, you can free rig it, so many things you can do. But we don't get the 6-inch in very often, so a bunch of 6-inch, all colors in the 4.5, the 3, even the Spec 2s. Spec 2s are going to be less salt, so they'll be a little more durable if you guys are using them for a chatterbait trailer. Those are back in stock as well. All right, Jeff, a real fast segment on Ryugi. Ryugi's been run over for quite some time. Probably one of the largest Ryugi shipments that we ever got landed. So pretty much a restock across the board. There are a few new items as well. I'm just gonna touch base on a few things because maybe some of you have forgotten what Ryugi hook you even use.
Yeah.
It's been so long since some of this stuff's been in stock. So, you know, if you're like me, dude, I've tried so many hooks over the last few months
just
that
waiting.
there's no Infini, so let me try this one,
this one.
right? So let me just fly through this really quick with you guys, and of course, if you have deeper questions, you know how to find me at the end of this. So before we get to hooks and weights, tanks are back. So there's 3 sizes in the Ryugi tank. There's a medium, a large, and an extra large. This is in a tremendous box. I love using these. There's also a free version. The free version is just an open compartment. The actual tank has a bunch of smaller compartments. I needed an XL anyways, so I'll take this one. If you guys aren't using the tank,
you're missing out.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
What a box, like just feeling,
Really
right?
beautiful.
So really the reason I like the tank is because it's just fully customizable, right? So there's so many things you can do with these when you open the trays, right? All these little pieces can come out as well. So you can make larger compartments, smaller compartments, great for hooks and weights, and they're easy to store. Also, if you're a shore fisherman, these are nice because they float. So if you drop it in, they're very durable. You can almost run these over with a car, so they're not gonna crack. They float, they're sealed, so they're not gonna get wet. It's just a super sick box. 3 different sizes, multiple colors, black, green, etc. Also, the hook wallets are back. So this is a great way to store your hooks. There's all kinds of like individual sleeves in there that you can put your hooks and weights. Just good organization all the way around. All right, one more thing before we get to hooks and weights. Item bags are also back, okay? So there's a lot of brands that make this style of bag now. Most of them are kind of made in the same place, but this is our best seller. And mainly because it's durable, it's great, and highly packaged.
Yeah.
Wow, packaging is so durable, yeah.
I don't think you were supposed to open it.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. But what's dope about this one is that it's a clear top, and it's a firm bottom. Okay, so if you put this down and it gets wet, it's not going to be a problem. But inside also you have customizable sleeves that are removable. Okay, so if you want to use this to store soft plastics, you just take these 2 hard inserts out and you have a big open compartment. But if you want to use this for, say, you know, put a couple of crankbaits in there, some jigs in here or whatever, you have these adjustable sleeves. So they do make really nice storage. There's a white, a green, and a black. Okay, I'm gonna fly through these hooks. Fog Shot is one of our favorite drop shot hooks. It's just a really finessey nose hook. We expanded the sizes into some smaller sizes. So I knew Jeff was going to start this new trend in little bass. Can you even see that? That's a size 8 drop shot hook. Kill me if I ever need this.
Good
but
heavens.
some of you guys may be desperate enough to need that. Those are available. Hover shot hooks are also back in all sizes. So, you know, this is probably the most popular hover shot and hover stroll hook on the market. So those are back. Hobbit hooks are back, which is basically a downsized, almost micro kind of EWG, but it's an amazing one. So I use this a lot if I'm throwing the Scooper Frog. So Scooper Frog needs that size 3 or size 4. You need that real tiny bait. So that's a great one. While we're on smaller hooks, the Talisman, which is one of our best-selling wacky rig hooks, okay, is now available in the Brutal. Okay, so there's going to be a Talisman Brutal, which is just a thicker gauge designed for heavier line or even braid. There's also an HG that has a weed guard on there for the Brutal. So now you can do just a regular fine wire version, or you can do the Brutal kind of thicker wire version. Those are in. Big restock across the board on trebles, feathered trebles, quads are back, twins are back, so anything Ryugi that wise is there as well. All right, and then some standard items return. The Infini, which is everybody's favorite hook, is back in all sizes. The limit hooks are back. All the worm hooks are back. Okay, whether you need twist lock or whatever, those all return. The tungsten football heads are back. This is my favorite kind of swing head football head that I use. I also use it a lot on the Micro Citizen when I take the blade off and attach this to the bottom. It gives it kind of a shimmy fall. Love it for that. The DS Delta Heavy Shot Tungsten is back, which is my favorite free rig weight. So all sizes return in that as well. And then the Carolina Rig Sinker, the Beets Sinker. This is one of our most popular Carolina rig weights, is now available in smaller sizes as well. So they've dropped it down to a 3/16 and an 1/8 ounce as well. So you could do, you know, full grown man sizes like half and 5/8 and 3/4, or you could do Jeff sizes as well now from Ryugi. No offense, Jeff.
Oh, none taken.
All right, Jeff, the segment you've been waiting for, the
Yes,
Daiwa Power
finally.
Scope segment.
No more swim bait talk. And
Right.
Ryugi and all
Let's
that
get
stuff.
into some shaking some minnows,
Yes.
okay? And Daiwa knows that you guys can't, you know, shake a minnow or fish on a live scope without a rod that says scope on it.
Right.
So they have developed this whole new line specifically just for power
You
scope.
can't use it for anything
scoping.
else, by the way.
Right, right. This is a scoping only rod. Okay. 2 new versions. This lineup of rods came out, I don't know, a couple months ago. Look, the rods are built fine. I just think just labeling something specifically for scope is kind of, yeah, we're all kind of over it, right? So, but here you go. They're nice rods. They're light. I hate the grips. Right, we've talked about that before. It's very St. Croix-esque. So, as I mentioned before, they probably gave Daiwa a good deal on some leftover Mojo grips or something. But some of you may like it. If you hold your grip here, you're gonna hate it. But there are 2 new models. I guess I should have paid attention. Power Spin. That's a new model.
Thank you.
This is gonna be a 6/8 medium heavy, 1/8 to 3/4 ounce. I don't know. It's basically just a short, medium, heavy. So apparently you have to use a short rod. Okay, so there's that one. And I don't think they're going to ask me to be their spokesman anytime soon.
No.
Maybe.
Right.
I am wearing the
You
team
are?
colors.
Yeah.
Team Daiwa.
It's all love.
Power scope rods only. Jerkbait rod is this one. So you guys can't use your traditional jerkbait rod, as everybody knows, when you're using live scope. You have to have a specialized scope jerkbait rod.
Right.
This is a 6/8 medium heavy, 3/16 to 1 ounce. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Okay, so there you go. The all new models in the Power Scope are available right now. All right, and then let's end today talking about some P5s, 1 new model and some restocks. Now, the reason I'm going to end on this is because I want you guys to start thinking about availability with these new tariffs. So let's talk about some of the rods. So the Bearing Down Extreme, this is a rod that was a part of the original lineup of rods, and it is in now. It's it's a really nice rod. Okay, the bearing down's always been kind of a staple in the lineup. It's great to have another carbon fiber grip on there. It is an F5.66, so 1/4 to 1 ounce, just kind of an all-around kind of jig and worm style rod. This is the only batch you're going to see of these rods this year. Okay, so if that's speaking to you, or you want to pick one up, you can grab that. I'm going to hand that one to you. Also, with that, we got a pretty big restock across the board on the JDM P5. So rods like Windbuster are back, you know, Dark Sleeper, Monstrous, 110 stick. The reason why I'm pointing this out, these rods are going to start evaporating, and you're not going to see them probably restocked this year, would be my guess. So a lot of brands with the new tariffs, even though we have this kind of 90-day window that everybody's now kind of reoperating in, everybody's kind of freaking out about, of course, there's the high tariff from China. So anything that's made in China is basically going to be stalled. Okay, so a lot of things are made in China. A lot of American brands make stuff in China. A lot of it's just going to be stalled instead of prices increasing, so availability is going to shrink down. Even if they're not making stuff in China, a lot of brands are going to just try to flood product in right now in that 90-day tariff. So you're going to probably see a lot of things coming back in stock quickly, and then they're going to be out of anything. Okay, so I just want you guys to know this stuff so that you can kind of prep and plan based on what it is that you are into. I'm sure you've seen, based on what you buy and what you shop, I'm sure you've seen price increases already happening. They're happening within our industry on a lot of brands, especially brands that are dependent on Chinese products, right? So, you know, look, this is never a political statement. This is never a, you know, right wing, left wing, you know, Republican, Democrat, you know, for Trump, against Trump. Look, none of that exists here on this channel. If you want to have those conversations, you know, you guys go and do it. This is just a conversation about what the reality is and what's happening, so that you guys know what's happening in the industry. I just want to be as transparent as I can, so you know if you want to buy stuff, if you want to wait, if you want to anticipate something changing. But from the conversations I've been having, we're going to expect some price increases to start rolling down the pipe. We're going to expect availability to become a major problem over the next 2 to 3 months. So I just want you to keep that in mind. I just don't want you guys to get to July and be like, damn, I should have got that thing I know I needed, but now it's gone. Okay, so as always, I'm always available if you guys have questions on anything specific, but there is kind of the recap for now on everything. All right, and just like that, it's a wrap. It's time to go enjoy our Bonheur, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
So other than the beautiful Bonheur, do you have a favorite?
Honestly, I think it would have to be that 6.6 jerkbait rod in the Daiwa scoping line.
Yeah, finally now you can catch jerkbait fish on your scope.
Yes.
With the Power
Before
Scope
I
jerkbait
couldn't
model.
with the 110 stick.
Right.
I
And
just-
by the way, if you get that Power Scope rod, don't you for a second think about just making a cast without using scopes.
I think the rod
Okay.
breaks.
Actually, I don't think anybody does that anymore anyways. Not that I see. I was on the lake yesterday. There's 200 boats, and literally there's bushes everywhere, right? And people are just staring at their screens. I'm like, dude, when did we stop looking at bushes? And I'm not an anti-live scope. I think it's amazing. I love it. But there's still, you know, it's a strange world we live in, Jeffrey. So, Jeff, enjoy your scoping jerkbait rod.
Absolutely.
You guys know how to reach me if you have any questions that you want to cover on stuff that we dropped today. I don't even remember what we dropped today. I need some sleep. But anything I can do to help you guys, you know where to find me. I put my Instagram handle in so you can dive down whatever rabbit hole you want to. Rods, reels, rigging. I want to make sure you guys are having success and having an amazing time on the water. So hit me up anytime. Jeff will put links to everything that we talked about today. And until next week, right? Thank you guys for the business. Thank you for the time and for watching these ridiculous episodes every Sunday. Go hug your family. Go catch a big fish. Drink the most delicious beer in the world. See you next week. Peace.